Hello. Thanks to a big area of low pressure dominating Central Europe, we have some very stormy weather on the way here through the course of the next 24 hours. This is one curl, but this weather front sinking its way south for the end of the week will have a similar effect, as we'll see another low spinning up and plunging its way southeastwards. Wednesday into Thursday, it's a windy story for the Balkans, for southern Italy, some heavier rain around here. Still some showers through the eastern end of the Mediterranean, affecting southern Turkey, some for Cyprus, windy at times with some showers for the Greek islands as well, looking wet for Sicily. Clearer skies as we head towards Corsica, Sardinia, patchy cloud across the Balearics. Colder air working its way down to the Spanish plateau, just 8 in Madrid. And then some rather wet weather getting in to the northwest of Europe on Thursday. And then just look at the mess that is the weather story on Friday. One area of low pressure bringing some significant snow to the Alps, rain further south, more showers to the eastern end of the Med, and low pressure coming in to the west, bringing rain, maybe even some snow to the higher ground of Spain. So almost all areas are going to see something wet and windy in the coming days, and for some, something quite significantly wintry, particularly Switzerland through into the French Alps, I suspect. But generally a very mixed story for Europe in our outlook. Hello, we have another deep area of low pressure heading towards eastern Canada for parts of Quebec, Labrador and Newfoundland. We're anticipating widespread gales, blizzard conditions as colder air chases in on the back of the low, bringing some snowfall. This weather front, however, will clear the eastern seaboard of the US for Wednesday, meaning sunshine for many here. Look towards the southern plains, though, and here's our next low beginning to develop. Again, cold air chasing into the west of it, milder air to the east, the perfect conditions for it to really develop. Repeated areas of low pressure coming into the Pacific Northwest means some very wet and windy weather for the Yukon Territory on Wednesday. Largely dry as we make our way further south along the west coast, thanks to a big area of high pressure that's pulling a lot of warm air a good way north. And we're looking at some record-breaking temperatures potentially for the Northern Territories and Alberta in the next few days. And then the warmth will become more widespread across Canada come the weekend. For New York, a little bit of a legacy of cloud on Wednesday, but generally brightening skies, sunshine for Washington and Myrtle Beach. It's looking pretty quiet around the Gulf Coast first thing, but this area of low pressure will start to make its presence felt as it rolls its way eastwards later on Wednesday. And then there's some heavy rain to come, courtesy of that system, before this week is out. Hello. The prospect of some very wet weather to both the far north and south of the South American continent in the next few days. Further weather fronts are set to come crashing into southern Chile. To the north, our showers, if anything, are gathering together into a more organised area of low pressure for Venezuela and Colombia, so extending down into Ecuador. We also need to watch, though, this area of showers here pushing out of northern Argentina into parts of Paraguay, Uruguay and southeastern Brazil. Some quite big totals are likely here. To the north of the country, we could see some localised flooding where the showers turn particularly relentless. Still a lot of fine weather across northeasternmost Brazil, but wetter weather on the tail end of a weather front pushing towards Rio de Janeiro through Wednesday. I think Buenos Aires managing to escape with some sunshine, but this front here further south could come in to play through the latter part of the weekend. We'll pull in a little bit of cooler air, if anything, but perhaps not anything significant in the way of cloud or rain. Looking further north towards Central America, some showers around in the Gulf of Mexico, a bit of cloud for the Yucatan Peninsula. This is the tail end of a front pulling away from the US. A few showers for Cuba, some for Kingston on Wednesday, but the heavier rain tied in with that extending out of Venezuela and Colombia will target Panama and Costa Rica. So looking very wet, for example, in San Jose in the next few days. Hello. For quite a large swathe of Central Africa, we're looking at below average rainfall in the next few days. The region across from Sudan into the Democratic Republic of Congo. Some unseasonable warmth across Sudan as well. Further south, though, the rain looking particularly intense for Thursday and Friday for Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Zaire, extending all the way up into Tanzania. And particularly for Mozambique, we are flagging a risk of some problems with flooding. Rather more mixed story for the north coast of Africa for the next few days too, thanks to things becoming increasingly unsettled in the Mediterranean. Some rather cool and showery prospects here. Some heavy downpours for Maputo and Harare in the next few days. Cooler air digging its way down into the northern coast of Africa as well. We'll see temperatures in Algiers at just 13 degrees on Saturday, well below average for the time of year. Across the Middle East, it's quite a messy picture as well. We've got another weather system digging its way down from the northwest. There'll be some more persistent showers getting towards Kuwait into the northern end of the Gulf, and eventually that weather front will bring out some rain towards Riyadh too. To the south, dry, sunny, comparatively light winds, perhaps just a bit of cloud around in the Gulf of Aden. But look out for some heavy falls of rain for Kuwait in the coming days. Hello, we have yet another cyclone now in the Bay of Bengal, Burevi. Last week we saw Nivar bring very heavy rain into some southern reaches of India and badly affect parts of Sri Lanka. Burevi not as intense, but it will bring rainfall into similar areas, Puducherry, Tamil Nadu. Strong winds for Sri Lanka, heavy rain as well, but a significant storm surge too could be the biggest problem, up to 1 metre storm surge, inundating many coastal areas of Sri Lanka. A stormy period to come for the remainder of this week. Further north, high pressure sits across Kazakhstan, locking colder than average air in place here. We will see a little weather feature running its way across the Hindu Kush, bringing some snow showers to the greatest heights and rain at lower levels, but nothing particularly intense. Some of that colder air will just sink its way south, though, towards northern Pakistan and northernmost India in the next 48 hours or so, so for the likes of Jammu and Kashmir. A closer look there at Burevi, affecting southern India on Thursday. It's a good deal quieter towards the northeast and across Bangladesh. No sign of the cold air moving from Nur Sultan in the short term. We see it extending down into Kabul and Islamabad in the next few days. Delhi continues with some sunshine, as do Dhaka and Kolkata, but for Chennai and Colombo, it's a stormy outlook. Hello. Our monsoon rains across the Pacific are looking particularly intense at the moment, reflected by the bright white masses you see here on the satellite picture behind me. We're anticipating heavier than average rainfall for parts of Indonesia, particularly Sumatra, and also Malaysia, Singapore in the next few days, and for the Philippines, some particularly heavy rain targeting the north of the country, the island of Luzon. Japan, the picture a little bit more mixed, some occasional showers working through here. China, with a lot of settled weather, high pressure still locked down, still bringing some unseasonably cold air into the north from Russia. There is a significant risk of flooding though, I think, for parts of the Philippines and Vietnam as the rainfall totals continue to add up as we go through the next 5 days. Beijing remains fine with winter sunshine, but on the chilly side. Australia continues to be threatened by heatwave conditions in the coming days, particularly for the interior of Queensland and northwestern New South Wales. This front coming in from the south will keep things on the cooler side, though, for the likes of Sydney. There is a threat, though, particularly as we go on into the weekend, of some very intense thunderstorms coming off the bite for Melbourne and Adelaide. And for Brisbane in the next few days, we could well see heatwave conditions with temperatures up to 40 degrees for some western suburbs, particularly as we look to the weekend. Of course, Brisbane itself on the coast, a little cooler.